Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you now about finding a reliable web source. You guys are going to be able to use a website, but one of the biggest issues with using websites is finding a legitimate source. Is it a legitimate, reliable source? Number one, you will not use Wikipedia. Let me make that clear, and I will repeat it again. Number one, you will not use Wikipedia. Here's why. Wikipedia is a website, a database of information, if you will, that anyone could go in and change. It is not a legitimate source. However, if you want to try to look for something, you may be able to go into the bottom of a Wikipedia page and find resources. And down at the bottom of a Wikipedia page, you might have links. That's the only way that you would use a Wikipedia article, is to find a legitimate link. So let's look up here. I'm in the manual and I am on page 6. So on page 6 in the research manual, I want to talk to you about finding reliable web sources. Number one, keep in mind that anybody can publish anything on the internet. Along with that, remember, there could be bias involved. So I've used this sample many times. If you want to go to the Planned Parenthood website, you are not going to find anything negative on Planned Parenthood. If you want to come at that issue of Planned Parenthood like a controversy, and you find a website, pardon me, from a biblical worldview or a pro-life view, you are not going to find anything positive about Planned Parenthood. So remember, anything that you look on the internet, you're going to make sure and look at this through the lens of bias that they will have. And remember, you have bias as well. So if I were you, I would look for sites that end, the URL ends in edu, org, or gov. In other words, these sites are what we would consider legitimate. They would probably have accurate information on them. You're going to make sure that, let's say you're doing texting and driving, which one student is doing. You might go to Google to look for a website, and there is a .gov website based on that has information about texting and driving. Or maybe you find a website of a family member whose someone was killed by someone that was texting and driving, and they've made it their life's work to bring awareness to this issue. That might be something. Keeping in mind there is a bias, okay? So your goal is to try to find information that is true, accurate, objective, and current, okay? Is it something that when you find information on the website, you need to find the most up-to-date information about something. Now, some of you might be looking up, let's say, PTSD. You might want to go to some kind of website like Wounded Warrior, and they have information on there. But the thing that I am going to be looking forward for on your website source is it reliable? Okay. You go to some Joe Blow's blog and he's got a bunch of information on there about something. How do I know that this guy is reliable? And I'm probably going to ask you to find another source, okay? Because Joe Blow is not an expert. He's just saying some things about it. You want to be really careful when you're looking for a website. So using Google is the base form of research. You're just using that. Again, that's kind of like a database of all the information all over the internet, and you're using that as a way to find something that is legitimate. And I suggest that you look for edu.org or .gov websites when you're searching for a website. Try to avoid blogs or anything that would have latent bias that you would be able to realize and recognize fairly quickly. So that's the best way to search for a website. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me.